Well, hi, everybody. How are we doing? Good to see you all. Oh, hey, our little auto caption thing still works. That's great. Forgot we did that. Welcome, everyone. It's been a little while. Sorry there hasn't been a stream in a couple of weeks at least. It's been busy over here, both with just real life stuff and also I've been trying to get New Frame Plus things done and just taking any spare evening I can get. But thank you for joining me. This will be fun, I think. And also, I need to thank some people specifically. Thank you, JMac, for 8 months. I hope you're doing well also. Chroma Capybara, 6 months. Absolune, 8 months. Thank you all, you're great. Can't stay tonight, but excited for the VOD. Hey, I hope the VOD is worth getting to eventually. And it'll be great, I'm sure. Hello to future you. Sigtao, thanks for the 7 months.
Thanks, pal.
And for the Pikachu. Wah. And to the Nosy, thank you so much for 5 gifted subs. It's very kind of you. Hello, future VOD watchers. But yeah, I hope you're all doing great. So, this stream will be something. It's gonna be a weird one, but probably a fun one. We are, like, today... Hey, thank you. Here for the snacks. Thank you very much for the 8 months, or Amnon. Today we train Durmin's understudy. Now, some of you probably are wondering what any of that means. Especially if you don't watch our Final Fantasy XIV series over on Playframe. Then, boy, you've got just no context whatsoever, huh? This will be a fun educational stream for you. Hopefully. Q-Nexus. Hello, Dan. I'm new to Twitch, but not new to your channel. Just finished my first PC build and currently beginning in Blender and having fun. Been a huge inspiration on the journey. Even bought Richard Williams' book from your suggestion. Oh, wow. Hey, well, thank you for joining, for one. And hey, congrats for getting started. I hope you enjoy that new journey. It's a very fun craft. I'm thrilled to have been... I'm thrilled to have played some tiny part in that journey you're on now. So, some of you are asking, what does understudy mean in this particular context? And that's a fair question. Listen, that's fair. Hey, thanks for the 8 months, Namtam and Lord Trident, both of you. And Zephalios. Goodness, y'all are going faster than I can catch. Oh. 6 months for Steloctahedron and Terra the Red Mage, 4 months. Thank you so much, both of you. Aqua literally paused watching the story mode playthrough to come and watch this. Don't become an alcoholic in 14. Wait, that's not what understudy means. Altaholic. Oh, I see. Different thing. Very dangerous also, though. No. This is not, so... This understudy, we shall be judging their performance closely. We expect great things from them. Arcflash, thank you very much for 7 months. I guess I should... I'll explain it a bit once I'm done thanking and welcoming everyone. Thank you for the 8 months, Neo Shadow. I guess it has been a couple of weeks since we streamed, so... Folks who are resubscribing are kind of all getting in at once. Thank you for the 3 months, Aspherica. And it is good to see you back on the Purple website as well, Neo Shadow. And the rest of you too. Look at y'all hype training. Too kind. So yeah, the short version is we're going to be doing some chill Final Fantasy XIV. Kind of grindy-ish side stuff. For story mode purposes, but not doing any actual story mode stuff today. I'll explain in a bit. How's BC treating me? Pretty well so far. A little warmer than I'd like right now. I don't love having turned the AC off in here. But the sun's going down, so it's fine. Tree Gamer says, well, my sub got eaten somewhere, but wanted to say I've had a crummy day at work with a few hours to go. Thank you, Dan, for streaming to help make the day better. Hey, I hope I can be helpful. Sorry, it's a crummy day. Good luck getting through the last few hours. I'll try to keep you company for at least a good chunk of that. It is a bit warm up here in BC. Oh, hey, Will and company are here. Hello, Longship. How are you folks doing? Will, how are you? Goodness, it's been too long since I got to talk to or see you. What were y'all doing? Hey, and thanks for the 7 months also, Game Worm. And hey, did y'all hear that? That was a car. I don't know if that came through on the mic, but Dominique is with us. We're getting Texas weather? Well, not quite that bad, but pretty warm, I will say. Goodness, chat's moving fast. I'm very thrilled you're here, Longship folk. Car was audible? All right. Hey, Dominique has made her presence known at last. Do we have a new P.O. box set up over here? Not yet. We'll get to that eventually. There's still a lot of just like general business setup things we have to figure out here. Moving countries is a long process. So yeah, what were you Longship folks doing? Rain World, of course. That shouldn't come as a surprise to me. There's probably so much more Rain World now to be doing with that expansion that came out. I know it was months ago, but it's Rain World. That's like years of exploration, seems like, from the outside.
Thanks, pal.
Newsies Girl, the first stream you've caught. Wow. Well, welcome first. I'm glad you managed to catch a stream. And also, Chaos Carry, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. How nice. It's generous of you. Enjoy the emotes, everyone. Thanks for subscribing, KONexus. I've been slacking. Angel Colonna, thank you for 7 months total, 6 in a row. And 8 months in a row from Shakalter Cronus. Gracious. And 7 months from Game Worm. Goodness, I did fall behind. And thank you for the gifted sub as well, Chroma Capybara. That's a good name. You gotta say that right. Have I heard of Shadows of Doubt? It's quite interesting. I look forward to getting it getting out of early access. I don't think so. What is it? The name's familiar, but that could be just because like it's like got just enough genericness to it that I feel like I could have never heard of it before, but think maybe I had. Hey, thanks for the 5 months, Slacker Alex. A procedural detective game. Interesting. Huh. That's a programming challenge. Programming and design both. Interesting, though. Cool concept. That is also an immersive sim. Oh, wow, they're not... they're not taking it easy on themselves, are they? Roguelike immersive sim detective mystery game is a real, like, it's a tantalizing mix of, like, of genre terms, but a daunting one on the development side. Hello, Nijiru. Welcome. Hey, thanks for the subscription, Harmontimos. And 5 months for Slacker Alex. Thank you. Sounds like a game to root for, but be wary until it's actually out. Yeah, well, it sounds like there's a vertical slice that can be dabbled in now, which is a good sign. The fact that they're like actually like showing, here's the idea and here's what we've made of it so far. See what you think. Also, KNexus says that never played a Final Fantasy game. Maybe this will entice you to give it a try. I'm suspecting today's stream is not going to entice you whatsoever. I'm sad to say, but it is. Final Fantasy 14 is great as a as an MMO and as a Final Fantasy story, in my opinion. I don't know if it's where I'd tell someone to start if they wanted to experience Final Fantasy for the first time, unless they were a huge MMO fan, in which case I'd say yes, this is the perfect place to start. Anyway, it's been like 12, 13 minutes. I should explain what we're doing here. So, first of all, I would like to introduce you all. This is not Durmin. This is Durmin's understudy. It's a very convincing actor who has taken on the role. And I think he does a pretty convincing job, in my opinion. Durmin is another fine moniker. We're out here at Aleport. Or, well, no, wait, it's not Aleport, is it? Is it? Yeah, it is. Outside Aleport. Hanging out. So let me explain who this is, why this is, and what we're going to be doing today. So, I have run into my first technical recording hitch with the recording of the story mode playthrough series that we're doing over on Playframe. For those of you who are not familiar, I've been playing through this MMO in a story-focused, very accelerated fashion over there, and we've been doing it for a year or so now. I've got through the base game and the first expansion, and we've started into the second one, and we're having a grand old time. But we have run into a little bit of a technical recording hitch. Now, these happen. This is not uncommon when you are recording and releasing between 7 and 10 videos a week, every week for years, even with a rock solid setup and lots of like safeties and fallbacks. Every now and then technical stuff is going to happen, and it's going to cause some video file to be corrupted that you recorded, or maybe your voice audio goofs up, or just something goes wrong. Like it happens. Or like your power goes out in the middle of a recording. Oh no. And for a lot of times, that's not... Oh, hello. I've been found already. Hi. For a lot of playthroughs, it's not a huge deal. Usually it means like, okay, I need to go back and re-record like maybe just one episode, maybe at worst like a full set of 4 or 5 or something, which always sucks. But it's fixable. I've done it plenty of times, and you do it like you do what you gotta. Thank you for the 8 months, by the way, Star Tracings. Some games make it harder though. Any game that auto saves makes that very challenging though, because if something goes wrong with a recording, your options for re-recording it are much more limited. Things become much more complicated then. Same with MMOs. Like in MMOs, if you progress, you cannot go back and unprogress to re-record a thing again if something goes wrong, which is unfortunate. So since we've run into our first issue with a recording, I was trying to figure out how to solve that. And this is a pain in the butt, this solution, but it's one that we were going to have to do eventually anyway. I have gone ahead and created a alternate Durmin, a Durmin understudy, who can fill in whenever we have a recording error, so that like someone who has not progressed as far through the story, who I can then go back, play through that chunk as alternate Durmin, and hopefully in the end result you will not even notice there's a difference. That's the end goal. I'm not trying to like hide that I'm having to do some shenanigans to make up for a recording failure. Like, but I'm hoping that in the end result, if you're just watching the series, it goes down smooth and you don't even notice a single thing happened. Just invisible behind the scenes is what I'm hoping. It's basically, yeah, like we're maintaining a second virtual save file by playing the game through a second time. Except not. There's lots of ways to go about doing this in this MMO if you want to move fast and don't mind spending a little bit of money. So I have on this character already bought a story skip to get Durmin up to Stormblood. I have already bought a level skip to get him up to like where he needs to be on the monk job, which is the job he's playing currently at this point in the story. So that like that part of the progression is more or less handled. The only thing that still has to get figured out or just done, just the last little bits of grindy bits that need to happen, are making sure that Durmin has enough of the side stuff done, that he has access to enough features and emotes and things like that, that he can still convincingly play Durmin in those, like, for this window of time where he's needed to fill in. Costuming we've got on point. Like, listen, Durmin's fairy godparent was on the ball. They had a second set. They had a duplicate set of this costume ready and sent within 24 hours. And an extra special thank you to my little brain trust of folks who I've been planning, who I always sort of like bounce my plans off of when planning story mode stuff, the folks who know a lot more about 14 than me, because they helped me to try to sort of refine what my plan was for doing this backup recording. The main thing that still needs to get done, I've done just about everything. The last little piece we need to really make this work is that Quayfriend's not pink, and that won't do. The problem is turning Quayfriend pink is going to be a several step process. And that's what I'm going to be getting y'all's help with today. So, to explain what needs to happen here. Now, we're not to clarify, we are not going to see Quayfriend turn pink in this stream. Even once we've done all the steps, it takes 8 real-time hours for that to happen. No, we're just going to do everything before then. So what we're going to do, let me explain how you turn your chocobo pink. To change your chocobo's feather color, what you need to do is put them in a stable and feed them a specific combination of foods while they're in there, and then leave them in the stable for 8 hours' time. After which you can retrieve them from the stable and they will have changed to whatever color. Goodness. Thank you very much, Old Army, for the 5 subs there. It's very generous of you. You're too kind. But yeah, by the time you retrieve them from the stable, they will have changed their color. The thing is, to get a chocobo into a stable, you need to have access to a stable. And to have access to a stable, you need to have access to housing. Your character needs to have an apartment, or you need to be part of a free company who has a free company house. Now, normally this would be very simple. I would simply join the Dentalis Theater Company, the DTC, our free company here on this server. The thing is, Durmin here, the understudy, does not live on the server that everyone else does. You can't just recreate the same character with the same name, or you can't use a character with the same name on the same server. So to create Durmin Durami as a proper understudy with the same name, understudy Durmin has to live elsewhere. Now, I have temporarily traveled understudy Durmin over to the curl server, the Crystal Data Crystal Data Center Curl World, which is where the story mode playthrough and our free company and all that live. He's over there right now, but he's just a temporary visitor. He cannot join the free company. So to get access to housing, we need to get to the point where he is allowed to buy an apartment, basically. To buy an apartment, you need to have some money, which he has. You are given a fair amount of money for free, just along with your story skips and level skips if you buy those. So we're covered there. What we do need still, though, in order to get access to housing and be able to buy an apartment, you do have to have raised your Grand Company rank up an amount I forget, but further than he currently is. So that's what we're grinding. Long story short, That's what we're doing. We are getting ourselves grinded up in Grand Company ranking, getting him up to like lieutenant or whatever the heck he's got to be, so that he can buy an apartment and stable his chocobo and turn his chocobo pink. So the best way to grind up your in Grand Company ranking is to acquire a currency called Grand Company Seals. We're going to be doing a lot of that today. There are several ways to get Grand Company Seals. You can get them for doing some dailies and each day, or for doing certain dungeons. You can eventually get them through some cool little daily things where you can like turn in some craftable items. You can eventually get a fair number of them by turning in, just like cashing in some nice gear that you get as dungeon drops and things like that. He's not high enough rank to have access to that sort of thing now. The best tool he has right now is doing fates. You know those things that I always ignore religiously in story mode playthrough? These little things that when you walk just inside the little radius here, does a pop-up with noise? That, today is the day where we not only do them, we seek them. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a lot of these, trying to get as many Grand Company Seals from these as we can, and turning them in so that Durmin can rank up in the Grand Company. Now, anybody who is a see? This one gets it. Psych. We're getting very psyched about this. So anybody who is on the Curl world is welcome to come join if you want. We can make ourselves, I don't know if we need to actually be in a party for like fate grinding as a group to be most efficient. Probably, right? I'll take that as a yes. And yes, we will be doing a Realm Reborn fates today for two reasons. One, those are the ones that get you the Grand Company Seals we need. Two, Durmin here, though he has skipped past Heavensward story, does not have access to flight in Heavensward zones yet because he's not gone and done the optional quests and found the little ether wind pickup things. So, so this is the most convenient possible one. All right, non-pink Quay friend, you're gonna have to withdraw for now. Don't worry, buddy. We'll get you sorted out. Ah, hello. So we're just gonna be hanging out, grinding these fate things, and just chilling. Today is the fated day, Shakal Draconis. You're not wrong. Oh, goodness. Now there's a very good mount. Oh, goodness. And a very pretty chocobo. Good color and barding combination. I like it. So yeah, we're pretty much going to be just confusing every other rando in Western Lenosha today. Probably with a decent-sized crowd. Any folks who are members of the free company who are wanting to get in on this, I have just joined a party with Eos, one of our free company leaders. So Eos is the one to communicate or contact, or Eos will probably reach out to you. I don't want to just send a whole bunch of people spamming Eos via direct message or anything. I'll think through that again. But as you can see, these little light blue circles here are all the fates that are currently active just right now. And as some of these are cleared, new ones will be popping up. We're in this area because there's a lot of them. Come to the Aetheryte. Oh, I'm to come to the Aetheryte area. Can do. Oh, I found everyone. I was wondering. I was like, huh, weird. I really would have expected by 25 minutes into the stream that I'd be fairly surrounded. But no, turns out I had just I had just not gone to the right location to be surrounded yet. Welcome to the council, everyone. Navi, you really don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. Okay. All right. Durmin has been gifted a chair so as to join the council, I guess. Let's go ahead and get that handy. Here we are. He's ready. The council is now in session. This is gonna be a good time. So, I guess at this point, I will just start running around and running toward Fates or following folks' lead. Either one, honestly. Oh, we're going to roll out shortly. I should pay attention. I should read text. When text pops up. I guess it's on screen for me, not for you. But, in the meantime, hey, thank you for the 8 months, the NK dude. Hello, Dan. Literally just logged off for the night. Well, that's okay. That's okay. And yeah, 8 months already, right? It's weird. But thank you for the 8 months as well, Artematthew. And Cyclops Boy. You are on this council, but we do not yet grant you the rank of master. You know, fair. Our boy here is still quite new to the job and to the role. He's been studying hard. Looks like we're rolling out, though. This is fun. We've not wandered around old Realm Reborn areas in so long. Thanks for coordinating, everybody. Aos, I appreciate it. And now we join the Fate. It's like 2 just right nearby. I suspect these are going to go very quickly. Call it a hunch. I suspect within about 15 minutes, I may mute the game, but turn on just some background music, so y'all aren't just listening to the music swapping back and forth over and over and over. Because that's going to get annoying after a while, I think. You need more experience, young cousin, before you can be allowed home. We hope to see you roll up presents, too. Y'all really have a gift for using those bit alerts and deploying characters with them. Attack Durmin, please. Oh, I'm not level synced, silly me. I'm a fool. It's a lot to juggle. Wait, you can turn Fate music off? I guess I did that probably on main Durmin a while ago. You can turn Fate music off, you just can't turn off... No, wait, maybe you can just turn Fate music off. I'm looking that up later. I won't look it up in the menu now, but that's thrilling news.
No.
It's true, we can also just turn off BGM in general. Here, actually we will do that. There. BGM's gone, and the tunes are not back yet, but here, we'll just do this. That's not the one. Nope, 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 nope. There we go. Tunes, jams, yes. Tunes, jams, yes. Maybe that's too mellow. Maybe we need some more upbeat. Upbeat, fate-grinding jams. And I need to pay enough attention to where I'm actually getting involved. Yeah, sorry for everybody who's been joining just within the last like 5 minutes or so. I gave a lengthier explanation of what I'm doing right now earlier, but we're basically grinding fates to get a specific currency. We're doing a bunch of work to get this understudy Durmin the proper pink Quayfriend he deserves. This is an alternate double little doppelderman, you might say, who will be useful for recording things as a failsafe whenever there's a technical hitch that goes wrong when recording the story mode playthrough series. Which is, honestly, like, this is a bit of a pain to have to do, but it is absolutely something that was inevitable eventually. Because recording failures happen from time to time, not super often, but often enough that a series that is hundreds of episodes long, going for years, is like, there's no way this series was not going to get hit with a technical failure at some point. And yes, AOSI will let you know when we need to pause and rank up the Grand Company. I need either 4K or 5K for the next rank up, I believe. I was there for the DirectX 11 error in Dunska. Yep, that one was a bit rough too. That one was at least recoverable though. Like, it happened at a great time. Like, at a time when everyone was right there and ready on the last fight of the thing. Everyone was really quick and on the ball. Trying to stop the fight and then like going back through it again real quick so we could re-record the thing. And it was a thing that we could redo very easily without needing to like create an alt. It's not like story scenes or story progress in the MSQ, which you just can't redo it. There is a feature in place called New Game Plus, basically, which I've talked about on the series in story mode before, which is pretty good for a lot of things, but it is limited in its uses. Like, I would need to finish all of Stormblood before I had access to New Game Plus features, which is a lot of recording ahead and would definitely delay. It would set the series back a good ways. And I'd also be a little bit worried about what doing a run through on New Game Plus would. I'm worried about what might get skipped if I had to go back through it that way. I'd worry there'd be some stuff that would not be included that I couldn't really do again. It would influence the experience of watching it, which is something I do not want to happen. So this, I think, is a worthwhile plan. Worth the effort. Oop, sorry. Someone was trying to trade with me and I moved too far. You're giving me a Syldian throne. Goodness. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Having gone through New Game Plus, there are some weird gaps. Yes, that's exactly what I was worried would be the case. Because, like, inevitably there would be some side things, right? Like, there's some side quests along the way that I might have stopped to do, or the state of the world might be a little bit different. There would be weird gaps, which I want to avoid. So this is a bit of busy work that's a pain, but worthwhile, because I think it is going to be really useful to have this Durmin handy the next time something goes wrong. And I don't have to like maintain complete parity between like backup Durmin and main Durmin. I just need to have backup Durmin equipped with enough. Just whatever immediate jobs or gear or whatever progress are needed to record specifically what was lost, and that's it. Oh, thank you for the new fancy chair. All right, this is much too mellow. We need slightly more upbeat jams. Am I excited for the next patch? Absolutely. I'm excited for any additional story content this game gets. I'm honestly even more excited for whenever FanFest is, which it's got to just be in like a few weeks, right? Like a month, maybe? Because I figure that's when they're going to announce the next expansion, yeah? And I've never gotten to experience a new expansion being announced when I'm like caught up and current with the story. End of July is FanFest. So, okay, a bit longer than I thought, but it's coming. But yeah, I've been enjoying the patch stories post Endwalker on my own time, and I'm very curious to see where they are going with the larger story now that we have like Endwalker kind of functions as the kind of like end of the bigger arc that Final Fantasy XIV story has been on since A Realm Reborn. It's like kind of a good sort of end point of one adventure, start of a new one. But I don't really have any concrete guesses as to what the new one's going to be. Like, I've got vague ideas, but who knows what they're planning. Do I have a favorite game show that I watch, like TV, internet, or otherwise? So, and when you're saying like game show, you're meaning like game show, like Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune? Are we talking like classic game shows? Or are we talking, I honestly don't really watch any game shows, I don't think. Now that I think of it. I definitely watched plenty when I was younger and like had cable and like had days where I was sick at home from school or something. Saw plenty of Supermarket Sweep. Actually, that was a great era for being into game shows, because especially if you were a kid, because there were like a bunch of game shows for kids at that time. Like Nickelodeon had a whole bunch of stuff like Double Dare and like Legend of the Hidden Temple and other random stuff like that. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? That one's PBS, but you know. I don't know if kids still have that, or if they have something that's equivalent to it now. I guess their equivalent is probably YouTubers doing like goofy gimmick videos where they do like physical challenges of some kind or something. Which, to be fair, is probably just as entertaining if you get a good creator. It's called Twitch. Yeah, no, that's fair enough, actually. It's tempting sometimes, as you get older, to sort of like think of a kind of media or a genre of thing that you enjoyed when you were younger that you don't really see, or that you're not aware of existing anymore, and feel like, oh man, kids today are kind of missing out. It's a shame. But then you got to remember, like, also, not just that like kids will have their own tastes and that's fine, but also they have like such a wealth of additional options. The kind of kids are like spoiled for choice for cool things and entertaining things. There's so much more variety than we had at the time that they're all set. Just the cacophony of so many folks mounting up at once. Let's ride, team. All right, how are we doing on the currency? All right, let's couple more, and that should get us to around 5K, which should definitely get one more rank up. And then we can all see what the next requirement will be. As I scoot over to Ulda and get a quick rank up. This reminds me, we need a word for nostalgia for an era of gaming that you weren't yourself a part of, because I have that for NES games for no particular reason. I think that's okay. Yeah, I agree. We do actually kind of need a word for second-hand nostalgia. And maybe that can just be it. I don't know. Because I've definitely had that for things that were like either before my time or were in my time, but I didn't like experience them. I wasn't in on it at the time for whatever reason. I'll get that from time to time as well. Nostalgia? That could sort of work. You have no idea how we MMO players deal with all the visual noise. Listen, that fair. Eventually you do learn to parse it. And to be like, this is an especially noisy thing where we have this is an unusual situation where we have dozens of people all ganging up on a thing at once, and it's just total chaos. I'm not making any actual calculated tactical decisions. I'm running into the middle of a free-for-all and spamming abilities that hit everything around me. I am charging into a crowded room with like windmilling arms, and anybody who gets hit is their fault. It's a good thing there's not friendly fire is what I'm saying. Normally it would be even less noise than this, because I don't have like the NPC names or the player names for folks who aren't on my friends list visible when I'm recording story mode. Because like that would, if we got rid of like all this name text here, that would clean this up a whole lot. Granted, on regular Durmin, since these are all Dantalis folk, it would all just be a sea of pink names instead. But if this was just a random party or whatever, all the names would be gone, and that would clear up quite a bit. A horrible April Fool's joke, friendly fire enabled. That would just break the game for a day. No one would be able to do anything. Turn on full effects for one fate. All right, let me keep up with everybody to make sure I don't fall behind, but then let's see if I can real fast. Where does it live? UI settings? What setting is that in? Does anyone know? I don't want to spend the whole fate digging for it. BFX full? All right, I'm gonna take your word for that. Nope. All right, let's see if I can, character settings, control settings, item settings, UI settings. I'm guessing UI settings. General. Nope, 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 nope. Y'all will see some chaos in this next fate or two if I find this. Character, cross menu, character battle effect. Okay. character battle effects. Here we go. Okay, yeah, so I've been showing all of my battle effects, limited for everybody else. We will now make some alterations, and now you will see some real noise. All right, we are ready. Eos, whenever you are, take it away. Let's unleash pure noise on this unsuspecting thing. Here go all the spells. Just a sea of effects animation. Y'all are lucky that we can't get a limit break in here because you know some red mage in our group right now would throw a flashbang. For those of you who don't know, limit breaks are things that exist in sort of like group content. Special high-powered abilities that only one person in the group can take advantage of. Maybe like at most 2 or 3 times in at most 2 or 3 times over the course of a dungeon or whatever. And the red mage ultimate one is a very bright flash. Imagine running all the effects on in an Alliance raid, Migraine Simulator. I think I did accidentally have that on for part of the Void Arc raid, for like the first little bit of it. It was extra noisy, more than usual. All right, let's do one more, and then I will both turn off the battle effects or turn them back down, and I will run back to Ul'dah to see how rank up progress is a-coming. Analyze the chaos of the animation. Goofballs. Pretty hard to analyze chaos, just by definition. Beat stuff up. Beat stuff up. This is a lot of visual noise, huh? I'm sure the stream bitrate is suffering a little. Just a bit. Just a little bit. Just a fireworks show out here. Okay. All right. I will now return home and see how we're doing. Be right back with you folks. Okay. Let's also turn that noise down. There we go. Better. Whew, boy, we were zoomed out. Okay. Let's see. Apply for a promotion. And, oh cool, we just needed 4,000 for that one. Great, we are now Flame Corporal. That's a start. Am I now at a rank where I can actually do turning in of gear? Nope, gotta be Flame Sergeant 2nd class. Hey, thank you, Old Army, for the 5 gifted subs. Didn't you do that earlier? Could have sworn you did that earlier. Thank you all for the 8 months, Shiroka Jinrai. I'm happy you could catch the stream too. That's very generous of you, Old Army. I really appreciate it. Okay, so for our next promotion, we will need Oh, nice. I already did the... Okay, we need 5,000 for the next thing. So, easy. Let me come join you folks again. Apologies if I miss what anyone says in chat or miss the occasional subscription or gift sub. Lord Triton, thank you for the gift sub. There's a lot going on. So you can turn in Grand Company stuff not on your homeworld? Apparently. I hadn't even thought about whether or not that would be a thing, but yeah, apparently it works. That's good. That would be much more of a pain if I had to log out, move Durmin back to homeworld, rank up, log out, move Durmin back here, log in, resume for a little bit, repeat. But this is why I said earlier, for whoever it was who'd never played a Final Fantasy before and was wondering if this would convince them. Today's stream, probably not. I don't think this is a very good sales pitch for Final Fantasy XIV as an experience. Like, I'm having a good time. I'm just saying this is probably not something I would use to convince somebody to try Final Fantasy. But what we are doing today will make the story mode playthrough better. In an admittedly a very tiny way. In that I'll be able to still ride Quayfriend around and have them remain pink. For this handful of episodes I need to re-record. Worth it. Alas, Juniu, I wish it was a preemptive measure. That'd be nice. It probably should have been a preemptive measure. I always knew there's no way we're never going to have a recording failure that's unrecoverable. Like, that can't be just recovered from. With this super long series with hundreds of episodes, there's no way. Fortunately, it's not that big of a pain to fix. It's just taking a little bit of effort. And I'm having to do it in a bit of a hurry to avoid having to skip a week. Which is possible I may have to, but I think I can avoid that. We should be able to manage. Yeah. So for those of you, to summarize, for those of you who have who weren't here for the beginning, we're training up a understudy Durmin for backups. For when I need to be able to go back and re-record a section of the Final Fantasy XIV story mode playthrough we've been doing, due to recording failure or some other reason. Just because there's no other real easy way to do it. If I record a section of the story with Durmin and something goes wrong, not really a whole lot of good easy ways to go back and re-record that section of story with Durmin. So we will have a backup Durmin who has learned all of Durmin's mannerisms, perfected the Durmin accent, knows all his moves, and can play the role perfectly. The perfect doppeldermin. So what we're doing right now is really, I've done most of the prep already. We have a Durmin who is almost, I still need to burn through a little bit of Stormblood story quest to get back to where I was to re-record the stuff I need to. That'll go pretty fast. We've already got him leveled up, we got him equipped, we got him in the right gear, we got the right emotes, we got most everything we need. The only problem is Quayfriend is not pink. Unfortunately, making Quayfriend pink involves some steps. He has been practicing the snap cut. That took a while. The understudy did have to work pretty hard to perfect the snap cut. Even Durmin had a bit of trouble with that snap cut for a while. It acts up from time to time. And I don't know that the understudy can figure out the light switch spell in time for his first performance, but that's okay. We can ease into it. The show must go on. Thank you, Culture Conus. I am very happy that people enjoyed this stupid snap cut jokes and editing goofs, including the surprise accidental snap cut to Elden Ring. Definitely one of my favorite editing jokes I've ever done on the channel. How's audio, by the way? I know the game, like, sound effects are a little cacophonous, but hopefully they're not too loud. How's the balance of, like, my voice, music, game audio? It's pretty good? Excellent. Wait, you can't hear the game audio at all? That's surprising. Well, like, so the game music I've turned off, but, like, are you not hearing any of the combat sounds or anything? Oh, there's zero game audio. Huh. That should not be. Hold up. Let me see if I can, wait, I think I figured that out. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. I'll keep that still kind of quieter, though. Is it in now, though? Okay, there we go. Now you've got the game audio.
Thanks, pal.
Old Army now. I know I've seen you do this at least once already. Thank you very much, though. You are too kind. Loving the elephant. So at a certain point, once we get Durmin up to a specific rank... Why can I not target these things? I'm level synced and everything. Oh, it's because I'm still on Wayfriend. Silly me. Punch something, Durmin. There we go. Get a hand on the ball, dear boy. Once we get up to a certain rank, we'll be able to grind for this stuff possibly a little more efficiently, or at least with a little more variety, by just maybe just burning through dungeons real fast and then turning the loot in to the Grand Company. That is usually the faster way in my experience when I'm just kind of doing it casually on my own. Maybe it's not faster than doing this with a huge group. I don't know. This might still be faster, but that is true. I will still need to do the Grand Company hunting log as well at a certain point. I've done rank 1. I don't think I've done rank 2. No, I haven't. So I'll definitely need to do that at some point. But I don't even unlock that until Flame Sergeant 3rd class. So this next rank. It's faster to turn in loot. Oh, cool. Well, maybe we'll just get a little gang together and just unsynced our way through a bunch of dungeons. Speed run them. All of you who are helping right now, or even just keeping me company, frankly, in chat, I appreciate it a lot. Because my perfection is, like, I was going to be doing this grind stuff myself if I had to. Because I'm a perfectionist, and I care about the series too much. But this is making it way faster and a lot more fun. So I appreciate you all being here. Is this more or less effort than the Sekiro video? That's a good question. That's a very good question. This is less, probably. It might be like a similar expensive time. I think, like this one I had to actually spend money on, so like I don't think it's a one-to-one thing. It's probably equal, just very different. But it is comparable. For those of you who don't know what that is in reference to, years ago when I was doing a playthrough of Sekiro over on Playframe, we had a similar issue, like of a recording failure or a recording just problem. Fortunately, it wasn't an entire episode lost, because that would have been real bad, because Sekiro also autosaves. There's no way I could have gone back and done anything about that. FromSoft games are just rough that way. But I did have a problem where, like, we were having a lot of weird technical issues with just the footage and the capture of that series. And for whatever reason, on episode 42 of the Sekiro playthrough, for the first 7 minutes, there was just zero game audio. And I still don't know why. The game audio popped in 7 minutes in, but before then, total silence. And that annoyed me. And side quest is like, especially at the time, was like one of the most important little kind of sub-series on the whole channel to me. It was like what we built Playframe on originally, back when it was Extra Play. And so I really, like, my perfectionism kind of took over. And so I decided, all right, I will fix this. So I went in to the game, back to that area, and I basically fully recorded every sound I possibly could inside that range for those 7 minutes. Just turning down everything but music, the music audio for a stretch and running around so I could get all of the music in the areas. Turning down everything but ambient noise, and then traveling around so I could get like recording of all the ambient noise in those areas. Turning down everything but voices so I could get voice sounds. Turning down everything but sound effects so I could get all the combat sounds and footsteps, and there's just everything. And then I manually reconstructed the audio for those 7 minutes. And I'm very proud to say that until I revealed like a year later in a patron Q&A that revealed it in a patron Q&A that I had done that, no one noticed. And I was very proud of that. Old Army, that's at least the 4th time you've done that now. And I really appreciate it, but getting out of hand. It's very generous of you, and I'm very grateful. But yeah, I don't say, I say it with some pride that I did all this nonsense for these playthroughs, but it's some pride and some shame. Perfectionism is not healthy, and it causes you to do an inordinate amount of work that is not necessary, that other people do not expect from you. And perfectionism can make it to where you treat small issues that would not bother anyone as big as catastrophic ones, and causes you to really just misallocate your time and energy. But because I'm a perfectionist and I can't entirely help it, I still do take some pride in the quality of the work. So, and especially when it is with a larger body of work, like a full playthrough like this, which is something that I'm creating to be an experience for a lot of people. It is really important to me that I like make the best version of this thing possible. Because it's a thing that like it's not going to be on the internet forever, but it's going to be there for a long time, and a lot of people will find and discover it over the years. And I like having that big accumulated body of work being something the best it can be, and be something that I am proud of. And so it's hard not to go the extra mile or 10 sometimes. This is, I'll be honest, I don't really even know that I need to summon Quayfriend in the 3 episodes I need to re-record. I don't think I do. So this is kind of, you're seeing a little bit of this excessive perfectionism in action right now. Like, I can summon Quayfriend, but I don't think I have to. At least half of the stuff I need to re-record takes place in a city where I can't. But this is also an investment in our future, right? Because something's going to go wrong again. It's a long playthrough with hundreds of episodes over years. Something's going to go wrong again. And when that day comes, I'll be real happy I got that pink chocobo thing sorted out. And I am having fun right now. This is a fun, memorable experience. So worth it. And it's a fun, memorable experience largely because of you folks. Again, I'd be doing a much more slow, boring version of this grind if y'all weren't here. But y'all are here, making it a lot faster and a lot more fun, and I'm grateful. Do I need more seals? I think so. I think we need to get to 5K this time. So we're at 3,720 something. We're getting there. Is it weird that I am AFK in 14, watching someone else play 14? I don't think that's weird. I think that is a very Final Fantasy XIV experience, though. The real fun is if I can manage to get off a Black Mage spell before something's dead. Yeah, boy, casters have got to be having a real hard time getting a hand on the ball in this fracas, huh? I'm a monk. I have the fastest attack speed of anybody in the game, and even I am sometimes sort of like, I'm gonna go hit. Oh, it's dead. Then I'm gonna go hit this. Oh, that one's dead too. Then I'm just gonna try to hit an AOE spell. Everything around me is dead. Oh no. All I gotta do is tag one enemy. If I can just get one hit in, one good swipe at an enemy, then I get full credit. Participant of the Year. This is why Scathe exists as a spell. Yeah. Because Scathe is a Black Mage spell that, if I remember right, is one that is generally not... Is that the one that's otherwise generally not that useful? But in this specific situation, a godsend. And drink some water. Jeez. This is a nice playlist. Oh, thank you. I'm enjoying it also. I usually, I kind of have like 2 streaming playlists over here. Kind of like this one, which is a bit more energetic, which we usually don't use because, usually anything that gets this close to, EDM, dubstep type stuff is a little higher energy than our level of chill usually merits. But since it's nothing but a, battle montage... Ooh, what is my favorite game system to play tabletop games in? Ooh. I'll be honest, I don't have a ton of like I've definitely played like D&D in a variety of things, but I don't have like a wide range of tabletop RPG and game experience. I do think that Powered by the Apocalypse is my favorite system, though. Big fan of how kind of narrative-centric and collaborative Powered by the Apocalypse is. Like D&D is very fun too. I enjoy like the more kind of a number crunchy and gear focus. Why can I not sync right now? There we go. Okay. The slightly more number crunchiness of D&D can be a lot of fun, but I really like the flow of things in Powered by the Apocalypse games, and I like how like flexible as a system Powered by the Apocalypse is. Like people have come up with fan hack versions of Powered by the Apocalypse for so many different genres and settings. I found a Kingdom Hearts one that I've been like trying to cobble together a campaign idea for friends. The problem being, I don't really have time to properly DM and prepare for a campaign. Would I be interested in old school D&D? Honestly, not really. I've played like 3rd edition back in the day. That was like kind of the first earliest version I played, which was fine. A little more fiddly and number crunchy than I prefer. I played 4th edition, which I liked, and I think was like that was kind of when I really got more properly introduced, and was a good, like 4th edition was a great game for like helping a video game player get it. But like 5e is, I think, definitely my favorite of the D&D versions, and I've played enough Baldur's Gate to realize that I hate 2nd edition and want no part of it. Thaco is terrible. And I only hear no arguments to the contrary. It makes me so mad. Or am I thinking about doing a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough with Dan Jones when it releases? Probably not. Not that it wouldn't be fun, because it would definitely be fun, but because it would be so long. What is Thaco? Vermilon asks. And that's a fair question, because Thaco's not been a thing for good reason for many years. So Thaco, and I'm going to explain this badly, so apologies. Folks in chat can provide a better explanation. Thaco is a abbreviation for a system that was to hit armor class 0. It was basically a way that you calculated armor class in D&D 2nd edition, where unlike a lot of the other numbers in the game, you wanted to have a lower number. Because the lower your armor class, the more was like subtracted from the attack of other enemies trying to hit you or some sort of thing. Or no, you wanted a lower AC for that reason. So you subtracted instead of adding. And like, you know what, that would have been fine if like all the rest of the systems in the game were kind of built around that sort of like subtractive way of doing math. It's got a little counterintuitive. It doesn't feel super good, but like it would have be sort of okay. People in chat are explaining this way better. But it is so maddening having like, there's a lot of numbers you got to keep track of in D&D. And it is real annoying to have some of the time you got to remember in your head, like, wait, that's right. This is a number I want to be smaller and feel and look worse because it's actually better. I want to have to do more math. The problem with D&D is that it doesn't require enough math. I need to be doing more. It's the sort of thing that I feel like would really get like I would love to hear a... Is there anybody in chat who could like make a case for Thaco and like the value of it? Beyond just sort of like the... beyond just sort of like the novelty appeal of its not greatness. Like, it basically just involves extra steps in trying to calculate what has happened in the middle of a fight. And you're already doing enough calculations and managing enough numbers and variables in D&D. It just slows things down more. And Baldur's Gate, old Baldur's Gate games, originals, were mechanically based on 2nd edition D&D. So if you want to get a taste, that's where you can do it. It's definitely quite a thing to experience Thaco for the first time. And then just kind of have that experience, that sort of journey in your head of like, I don't understand how this works. I'm looking this up. And then looking it up and being like, I am sure I am misunderstanding this. Why on earth would they design it in this counterintuitive, harder to calculate way? There must be a reason. And eventually you just come around to, no, this is how it is meant to be. It's on purpose. Functioning as intended, not a bug. All right, we're almost to 5K. I think 1 or 2 more of these will do it. That'll get us to our next rank, and then we can see what's happening. Do I accept this teleport? It's been up for a bit. We moved to Bloodshore. All right. Fate scale to the number of people over time. Oh, I didn't realize that. Interesting. For some novelty and more efficiency, we will now be fate grinding at the beach. This really takes me back to my Final Fantasy XI days. Hours grinding, fighting appropriately crabs, cuter crabs, but fighting crabs on the beach for... You can spend a whole day that way. And unlike these intimidating looking crabs, those cute crabs would murder the heck out of you if you were not careful. And woe betide you if you accidentally got the attention of a gobby. The same kinds of gobbies, by the way. Come on, Little Sink. The same kinds of gobbies as in 14. They're great and cute, and I love them here. But boy, they were little murderers in 11. Good old Valkram Dunes, indeed. That crab is a mountain 14? Oh yeah. Oh, I made sure to get that mount. Durmin has that mount. Doppeldurmin, probably not. And I don't think Doppeldurmin needs it because I've not even really used it. I've not even really used it in story mode, and I don't think I probably will. Do I have plans for covering the story in Eureka? I do. God help me, I do. It's a bad it's not a good idea. I should not have plans for featuring the story of Eureka in story mode. But here we are. For those of you not in the know, Eureka is some side content, entirely optional, in the post-Stormblood stretch. That is very grindy, but does have an interesting side story to it. That does pick up kind of a plot point that was dropped in the patches of A Realm Reborn, and deals with like Kryl, and is like seems really interesting. It is very grindy though. It is basically, if you ever wanted a taste for what Final Fantasy XI was like, if you wanted like a rose-tinted glasses experience of Final Fantasy XI, That's what Eureka is. And I have formulated loose plans. I'm like, the patch stretch for Stormblood is going to be some of the most intensive complex recording coordination for story mode, maybe of the entire series. Do I have plans to hit up the Heavensward Hildebrand story too? At some point, I'd love to. That one depends on JoeCat. I need to reach out to JoeCat and let JoeCat know that if ever JoeCat wants to make time to record that, I will do that in a heartbeat. But now it definitely feels wrong to record anything Hildebrand without JoeCat. And I also do not want to make demands on Joe's time. I'm thrilled to record or do anything with JoeCat, and I very much hope that we can do more Hildebrand. But I also do not want him to feel any sense of obligation. That dude's busy. All right, how are we doing on the seals now? Because we got to be getting pretty close. And we have crossed the threshold. Okay, let's do one more, and then I will go and turn them in. And we'll see where we're at. We're all sort of scattered right now. Where are we going? This way. Okay. Joe's not in here, is he? Like in chat or anything? I don't think so. Joe's so great. I am so impressed by just him and all the things he makes. I don't know. I love seeing creators who are like younger than me getting started and then flourishing and thriving and just like being incredible at it. And Joe makes great stuff and is only just getting better and better. I am thrilled seeing how successful he is. I am inspired by his work. I've got a handful of fellow YouTube creators who are definitely like peers who I take a good deal of inspiration from, or like who inspire me to want to up my own game and keep making things and make better things. And Joe is one of them. It's just between us. Okay. All right. I am going to go and turn these seals in. Real quick like. I zoom. Hey, no, Saj. Okay, let's rank up one more time. And we are now getting we're Flame Sergeant 3rd class. Good job, understudy. Well done, little fella. Check my inventory. I have a what? Oh, I do have a crab. How did that happen? Is that literally because we did that fate? Amazing. I didn't know that's how you did that. Incredible. Okay, let's see here. What is the requirement for the next thing? Let me, following requirements, 6,000 for the next one. Okay. 6,000, and I think past that, I'll need to actually go and do hunting. I'll need to go do rank 2 hunts. And Halatali. I think I've done Halatali. Let's see what the hunts are actually for rank 2. It is in Cutter's Cry. That's where the enemies are. So we'll need to sprint through Cutter's Cry and hit up a few other random spots around the world. I don't think I have to do squadrons at all. I think I will get far enough to unlock squadrons, but by that point I really should be allowed to have a an apartment. Why would they give me a small personal army before they give me an apartment? That doesn't feel like the right order to me. I don't think someone should be allowed to have a personal army before they're allowed to have an apartment. Call me old-fashioned. Hey, thanks for subscribing, Pointy Knives. Oh, goodness, and also Ed is everywhere. That was like 15 minutes ago. Thank you for the 7 months. And visiting from the VODs for 8 months. Long ago. Sorry, there's a lot to visually process. Look at all these good folks. Hey, what am I doing riding a not pink chocobo when I could be riding? Hang on. Oh, it's not the mount, it's the minion. Oh, well, we need the minion. Hang on. Minion. Where are you? There you are. So our little buddy. Perfect. Keep practicing, you'll get that teleport down. Whoa. So much cool chocobo barding out here. And good mounts and everything. Have I read any interesting stories lately? I don't really do any fiction reading these days, just for, like, partly for lack of time. Old Army. Now... and you're going to bed. Just, wow, just really dropping the mic and 10 subs on your way out. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Sleep well. Thank you very much for your generosity. That's super kind of you. And also out of control. Thank you so much, though. And thank you for joining today as well. Ridiculous. Chaotic kindness, indeed. That is sort of like the chaotic good. Demonstrated, huh? Ooh, thank you for that stretch reminder, though. That's a good idea. Hydrate, too, while I'm at it. Oh, sorry. Eos has been talking at me, and I've been not paying enough attention. Eastern Lenosha, right. Am I in Eastern Lenosha? I am not, no. Oh, I am. I am in Eastern Lenosha, but not the right part of it. I arrive late, but here. What is my excitement level for Final Fantasy 16? Quite high, actually. Like, a little too preoccupied with all the other things I'm busy with at the moment. And also Tears of the Kingdom, which is just exquisite. But, yeah, no, I'm very excited for 16 because up until Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'd really been feeling pretty, like, disenchanted with single-player Final Fantasy stories and campaigns for a while. And the story and narrative work in 14 has been so next-level good that those creative leads and that team being at the helm for the next single-player installment makes me very excited indeed. I cannot wait. You have a gift you want to send, but you need a P.O. box to send it to. Yeah, we need to get one set up. There's various things that need to get figured out with, like, on a business side, now that we are in a different country and all that. And the P.O. box will probably be one of the later steps in that process, so sorry for the delay in having a P.O. box that y'all can send something to. Sorry also for the siren out there. Well, you're not hearing a siren. Great. I'm impressed, honestly. Okay, it did get through finally. I was going to be really astonished if that didn't come through. If the, like, Dominique car sound at the beginning did, but that didn't. That'd have been wild. It was pretty close by. There's so many crabs. Yeah, thank you for the 3 months, by the way, Greybeard Damonson. Does the driver of the emergency services vehicle have a name yet? No, we've not created a character for sirens outside yet. Not that we have to, but I guess they're not like Dominic was a pretty special case, because like if you live in a city, like there's gonna be sirens. Sirens happen from time to time. You're living in a place with tons of people. Wow, that's so many enemies. Sirens are going to happen. And occasionally you'll get a loud car. But we were getting frequent and regular street racer loud car. That was like kind of an unusual experience that merited special treatment. Dominique and Bethany. Is Bethany the... Is Bethany the one with a job? Siren Man is Jacques. Bethany is pretty good. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if sirens... Sirens haven't been a super frequent problem in our recordings or streams so far. But if it becomes a frequent one, then I think we might need a character. Oh, thank you. All right, Eos is calling it a night. Thank you so much, Eos, for driving the bus. The bus keys have been handed over. I very much appreciate all the help. I've definitely needed someone driving the bus, because I'm even more split attention than usual. I'm glad the stream has been mesmerizing, Nismith. And good night to you, too. Good night to everyone who's having to log off. I know, especially if you're not West Coast. It's getting pretty late right now. For a Wednesday. Even if you are West Coast, for some of you, it might be starting to get a bit late. Depending on your schedule. Dan, my game refuses to let me log back in. Ask the party lead to kick me as I can't get back online. Party lead, Yukime, Nijiru, humbly requests a boot. As they cannot get back online. Thank you. Sorry you're having trouble with the connection, Nijiru. But if you're not able to get back online, thank you so much for the assistance. And for joining. It's going to be so good when we get this understudy Durmin all prepared. And he's got everything he needs. And he goes and he records those 3 episodes. And no one even notices because it was just all seamless. Seamless. Good night, Eos. And thank you again. Thanks for the help getting Machinist to 50. You bet. Happy to assist. I'm honestly just really glad that there are tools in place that can allow me to get this understudy set up without anything too bonkers. Like, this is a situation where there being an option to buy a skip through a campaign or being able to buy having a high-level character of a specific job already is enormously helpful. Because otherwise, I really do not know exactly how I would fix this. When I first had that kind of realization of like, oh shoot, the audio, like this recording has gone, has gone badly. I definitely did have a little stretch of panic of like, I do not know how I'm going to fix this one. And now I have a plan in place, and it's a bit of a pain, but it's going to work. And boy, am I relieved. Dan, I've been curious, and you've already mentioned this. If you've already mentioned in the past video, please ignore the question. But what was the underlying reason for your family move to Canada? It was work. I accepted a job up in Vancouver, or in the Vancouver area, rather. And it was a thing that, like, Carrie and I had considered as a possibility at some point, because we knew we'd enjoyed living in the Vancouver area before. So when an opportunity presented itself, I decided to go for it. It's definitely been an endeavor. Like, international moves are an endeavor. Even a short distance one, like Seattle to Vancouver is nothing. But because it involves an international border, there's so much more complication. And the settling in process is so much more involved and time consuming. It's definitely slowed down my just productivity on side stuff a good bit, which is frustrating, but inevitable. The Sonic Frontiers video would definitely not be taking this long to finish. I'll tell you that. Man, I tried. So I've been thinking about like what kinds of shorter New Frame Plus things can I make just to be able to make stuff faster sometimes. I'm really proud of these bigger videos I'm making, and those will still be happening for sure. Final Fantasy series, 12 Principles, all that stuff. But I feel like a lot of the scope of my videos has gotten bigger and involved more research and stuff like that. I've been trying to think of like shorter videos to do. I spent like all day basically of Sunday trying to do kind of like another wrong play type thing, but with a bit more like a little bit more polish and more editing to it, just to make it feel more right for New Frame Plus rather than for a play frame thing. And it just was not working out. So I'm still kind of working to crack that whole idea. I know there's a way to do it, I just haven't cracked it yet. I need to figure out a format that I can do with a much faster turnaround, but that is still like interesting and good and doesn't feel like I'm just spamming the channel with fluff or lower quality stuff that folks like. You don't want the experience people have when they see a new video in their feed from you to be disappointment more than half the time, right? Do you have any opinion regarding Street Fighter 6, given Capcom's doing everything they can to make the game friendly to newcomers to the fighting genre? I mean, I think anything that you can do that can make a genre with that much of a steep learning curve approachable is great. And just aesthetically and like animation wise, it looks gorgeous. I'm excited to see it. Probably won't play it much because fighting games aren't my thing and I'm not good at them, even though I do appreciate them going to the effort to try to make it more approachable. But yeah, Capcom's been just releasing hit after hit lately, and the animation looks gorgeous, so I'm excited to see. Oh, good morning from Germany. Well, good morning to Germany. And welcome. The Europeans are waking up. Battle of the Dans Street Fighter. That would be interesting. We've not really played a fighting game for Battle of the Dans ever, have we? Usually we do more like chaotic fare. Smash is like the closest we got, right? Which is like, what if fighting game, but more chaotic and nonsense. Playframe has been my introduction to the Souls-like genre. Have you played any of FromSoft's Armored Core games? Any interest in the new one coming out? I have not played any of their old Armored Core games, but I'm very interested in the new one coming out. It kind of makes me want to dabble in a old Armored Core just to have the frame of reference. But FromSoft is just on fire lately. I am sure that whatever Armored Core 6 ends up being is going to be cool and something I want to see. And I can't wait. But, they are such a different company now. I'd be super interested to see just, what kind of Armored Core game does FromSoft make now? That could be an interesting stream, dipping into an old Armored Core for a bit. I'd be down for that. Leave me alone, bird. I'm trying to fly. There we go. I'm on my way. I've had Armored Core 4 and Armored Core FA recommended as the high points. Side quest is what finally got me to sit down and try Dark Souls 3, and I heartily thank you all for that. Oh, well, I'm glad. I am glad that my journey to learning to enjoy Dark Souls games, which is what side quest really was at the start, has also helped others to experience that journey themselves. Seems like there's several of you. Hello, Trinity iHearts. Welcome. We're doing a grindy Final Fantasy XIV thing. I would explain it, but it's a long way. The explanation is a lot of words to get around to saying ultimately that we are doing some grindy things so that this backup little character I have here can have a pink bird instead of a yellow one. That's all you really need to know. Long story. This understudy Durmin is almost complete, almost fully kitted out. You would not be able to tell them apart. The only thing that'll give him away is that the Quay friend is not pink. That won't do. Is this a curated playlist? It is. Yes, this is a playlist of tracks from my... Well, thank you, Henri. Goofball. Yes, this is just a curated playlist of tracks from my just very large collection of video game remixes that I've been accumulating since... Oh boy. It's definitely more than 20 years now that I've been just accumulating a huge library of video game remixes now. And this is a bunch of stuff that is, I'm pretty sure, all stream safe and matches our vibe. I do enjoy putting together a good playlist. Would I consider just streaming via Twitch a regular playthrough of Elden Ring with Dan Jones, given it's such a long game? Probably. Given that I stream so irregularly, I feel like committing to a long game is just... it's like asking for trouble. Because, like, how long ago did I start Final Fantasy V? More than 6 months. And we're not even, like, halfway through it. Partly because we got distracted by a bunch of other things, and then I had to move, and then, but that's just kind of the problem, right? Well, thank you, anonymous gifter, for gifting a sub. It's very kind of you. Dan and I will definitely be doing a playthrough of Elden Ring on the channel eventually, in our co-op fashion. Probably a randomizer. The more we talk about it, the more fun that seems. And like a fun way to bring some unpredictability and, like, problem-solving chaos to it. It's not that I wouldn't want to just play lots of Elden Ring with Dan. I just recognize, like, I am at best, on a good week, streaming twice for a few hours. And if I stream more than that, then New Frame Plus productivity is going to plummet. And I just can't have that. Whew, I need another sip of water. I do at some point really need to just like start actually prioritizing streaming Final Fantasy V again to get that footage captured. This is probably a good sign that I should actually maybe not stream playing through Final Fantasy VI for the footage anyway. Or that if I do that, I need to just actually like do so in a very dedicated, like, okay, we're doing this, let's go fashion. Yeah. Oh no. I've been paralyzed by a big cat. If it's anything like being paralyzed by our smaller cats, it probably just jumped up on my lap. I wonder how many more ranks until I am allowed to just turn in gear. How soon is that? That will definitely be faster. Next turn in, we'll go check. What rank am I now? Let's find out. I am... Not the right menu. I am... For real, what is my... Flame Sergeant, 3rd class. It might be like 2nd class that's required. And by the time we get to 2nd class, it'd probably also be a good idea to start running around and doing those hunts. The rank 2 hunts. 2nd is when you can do gear turn-ins. Thank heck. That's great. Because yeah, that'll be a little faster than this. And then we can go doing the hunts, and we can also run a dungeon or two. One of them being Cutter's Cry, because that's going to be required for the hunts. And then we'll just like scoot through that stuff. We're in the home stretch, everyone. Soon, they will allow me to buy an apartment. And then I'll be able to feed my bird specific foods and ignore it for 8 hours to turn it pink. Right, it is specific foods in a specific order, too. I'll definitely have to look up that guide again. That is true. This is also, I hadn't even thought about it, but you're right. Ranking up this Durmin is also another, like, going to ensure that when characters address me, when anyone from the Flames address this Durmin in the story, they will refer to him by the proper rank, the rank that regular Durmin is. I hadn't even thought about that, but you're right. That's another consistency that this is going to help us get. Good thinking. All the more good reason to be doing this. I think I left off at Lieutenant. I left off at whatever was required to... I don't even remember. But I think it's... I don't know, I'll have to check what the other Durmin is. But once I got it to where I can turn in gear, that at least accelerates things a good bit. Because then I can just, like, unsync, burn through dungeons real fast. Get a whole bunch of gear, turn it in. Did I lose a character or something? No, still got the character, but we have had a recording mishap. And well, those happen, and that's fine. When you're especially when you're doing between 7 and 10 episodes per week, like some tech is gonna fail somewhere. Only problem is certain games, like games.autosave or games like MMOs, are very hard to go back and re-record something if something technically goes wrong. So I need a backup Durmin to re-record things for when things go badly. It's a headache to have to do, but it's an investment that's going to pay off multiple times, I'm sure, over the course of this long playthrough. It's really kind of a miracle that we haven't had this situation happen yet. Nowhere across A Realm Reborn or Heavensward did we have a recording mishap so bad that we, like, had story happen that I couldn't go back and see again. We've had some mishaps, but nothing that severe. But it's gonna happen again, guaranteed. Like, even if it's not till, like, late game Endwalker or patches or something, even if we manage to get through a whole ton more before it happens again, it's gonna happen again. And when that day comes, the understudy will be ready with his pink chocobo. Basically, the tech mishap was I recorded 3 more episodes of story mode, Stormblood stuff, and my voice audio is fine, and the game footage is fine, but the game audio is basically all the equivalent of just white noise static. No idea why. It was weird. Sometimes you just get those technical flukes, like just something in the computer goes haywire, like your computer and the capture and the Elgato just needed a reboot, and it's fine now. But it happens. Always frustrating, because like having to re-record things, like, never fun. It's always just more time and more work, but worth doing. I feel like, yeah, your Greybeard was asking if this is worse than the Sekiro fix. I feel like the Sekiro fix was probably equivalent. I think the Sekiro fix, they're probably taking an equal amount of time. The Sekiro fix feels a lot more extra. It's a lot more effort for just a short amount of footage fixing. Like, a lot of extra effort on Sekiro to ultimately fix 7 minutes of footage. Where this is a lot of effort that's going to be fixing between 2 and 3 hours, and like this time, and then maybe also help repair problems like many more hours later. There's no way you can completely fail safe recording things like these. Like, Let's Play recording is not a super technically complex setup to produce. As like recorded video content for YouTube goes. It's pretty simple. But you don't need a whole lot of potential points of failure to exist for one of them to act up every now and then. Will I keep the Durmin understudy on par with Durmin after this point? Probably not actively, but I will have him there and ready. Like, maintaining parity between 2 Durmins is a lot of grind work that is ultimately not going to be that necessary, because he really only needs to be equipped with the bare minimum to be able to convincingly play the part for specific episodes that need to be re-recorded. So in this case, I've not got him leveled up on all the jobs regular Durmin does. He's just leveled up as monk. He has this one glam outfit, because that's the only one I need. He's equipped for recording the one thing. If we have another mishap later, either later in Stormblood or later in a different expansion or whatever, I will skip him ahead to whatever's needed for that specifically and get that all done. It's a lot to juggle for someone who's already taken on too many projects and stretched a bit thin. You probably shouldn't try to take on and juggle as many projects as I do, but if you do try to do that, I highly, highly recommend. Yikes. Just hit a whole bunch of buttons I didn't need to. Stop. I highly recommend finding the most efficient way possible to do it. Because otherwise it's just not going to be realistic or feasible, and you're going to burn yourself out. You got to find efficiency measures to avoid exhausting yourself. Like, I don't mind going a little bit, like, doing the extra mile to invest extra in Durmin and Durmin's abilities to do fun, silly things. Like, getting additional jobs leveled on him, doing seasonal quests to get him silly costumes or whatever. Totally worth it. I'll do plenty of that. Because, like, all that investment just sort of accumulates and builds up with time. Doing that with 2 is a lot of work. How are we doing on the seals, by the way? Okay. So I think we need to get 6,000 this time. So we're halfway up toward that one. Shamelessly copying my playlist right now. I will, if I can remember later, maybe like throw together like a Google sheet or something that at least has all like the track titles and artist names or something for you. If you'd like. Just to save you some effort. Like, I can tell you right now, 90% of everything that you're hearing in this playlist is either from Overclocked Remix, Game Chops, or Tiny Waves. Like, those 3 labels / sites are definitely constituting, like, where the bulk of these come from. Not all, but the majority. And definitely, those are, like, probably almost the entirety of the more lo-fi chill version streaming playlist I usually do. Are Dan Jones and I working on a long play of anything to be released on Saturdays, or are we still working on a backlog of previously recorded episodes? We are working on, like, we've definitely recorded ahead a little bit, but we've definitely also, like, got a new playthrough starting, I think this Saturday. Yeah, this Saturday, new playthrough starting of a new thing. And we've been having a grand time. It's been bringing out a very good, silly energy from us. I don't know what it is. Some games just bring a specific, I don't know, playing certain games in a Let's Play fashion brings specific like moods and kinds of comedy and silliness out of people. There's certain different modes of us in a way. It's been very fun. I've been having a grand time recording it. Excited to record more of it this weekend if scheduling works out. He's not mainlining Tears of the Kingdom as much anymore, so it's possible. I'm kind of jealous, honestly. I've not not had nearly as much time to play Tears of the Kingdom, but what I have played, it's, boy, exquisite. Oh, good night, Chaos Carry. Thank you for joining and hanging out. Oh, Tempopo, if you didn't see, yes, I am game for moving to another area, if y'all are. Where's everyone headed? Oh, I'm leader now. That's a mistake. I'm not fit to lead. Go east shroud. All right, we've been advised. Eos, I thought you were going to bed. Eos advises east shroud. All right, I'm gonna make someone else leader. Actually, I'm gonna invite Navi and make Navi leader. Navi, where are you? Are you here? You're around here. You are also small. I will pass leadership over to someone else. Unless I see Navi in a second. Oop. Gotta get a hand on the ball here. There we go. I really do appreciate how many. I know I've said it several times, but I appreciate how many. Oh, there's Navi. Okay, yes. Invite to party. There we go. And promote. Boom. You're in. Hooray. But yes, Eos advises that we shall head to the East Shroud because their sylphs have just a ton of fates to do. And given we still need about 2.5K of these seals to be done with the fate grind, I think that'll do us nicely. Also, you were right. The story really does pick up well with Stormblood. I'm really enjoying the playthrough. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, no, it's... Stormblood is good. Like, not without some of its, like, some narrative problems here and there, but it's good. And I don't think it is any... I don't think Stormblood is any more narratively messy than Endwalker. And there's a lot that's great in Stormblood. There's a lot great in Endwalker, too. The high points in Endwalker are mwah. Basically, from here on, it's all stuff to look forward to. Shadowbringers especially. Shadowbringers is just the cream of the crop. All right, to the East Shroud with us. Time for a change of scenery, everyone. Taking this train to the woods. You'd think a train wouldn't do that well in the woods, but we manage. Hi, Dan. Don't have time to hang out tonight, but we just wanted to pop in and say I love your content. Even more than that, love the way you are. Keep it up. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. And thanks for popping in. You flatter me. I'm glad you enjoy the stuff. Seeing folks enjoying the stuff I make is absolutely the reason I do it. It is very gratifying. Gotta hit one bird. There we go. I did it. I hit one bird. Whew, getting stuffy in here. Even though it's night, it's just been unseasonably warm in the Pacific Northwest lately. For a part of the world where central air conditioning is not standard. It's 82 in your dorm room right now? Gracious. Isn't it also on fire up there? Usually some part of up here is on some kind of fire. And sometimes it's like on an okay amount of fire. Sometimes it's not. It's not on a kind of fire where the sky is orange and we're all having to like cover our windows because it's like air thick with smoke everywhere. So I'm happy it's not that kind of fire for us here right now. Oh, Alberta's the one on fire right now. I see. Yeah, that explains why we're not getting a whole lot of that over here on the West Coast then. Is Alberta often on fire? That one seems a lot less full of forests, or at least in the parts I've seen, which was around Edmonton, which is really the only part, which is a pretty small amount of Alberta, to be fair. Yeah, I guess oil does burn pretty good, huh? Plenty flammable in that province. But yeah, I usually would imagine it to be BC to be the one on fire in Canada. Just the West Coast in general, you know? Ooh, hey. Enemies with Wi-Fi. I need to hit these. I've hit one. Hooray. How am I enjoying Bring Cash? What's Bring Cash? BC? Is that... I've never heard that nickname for BC. Oh, I guess other than just be like, it's very expensive to live here. Yep, yeah it is. I get it now. Yeah, cost of living... not my fave, but I've also gotten pretty used to that. Seattle's not much better. That is kind of just the Pacific Northwest in general. Which is unfortunate. It's a lovely area to live. I mean, I'm not surprised a lot of people live out here and that it's gotten expensive, but yep. Rent is too high out here. If I could just work remotely all the time, which part of the world would I like to live in? Honestly, this Pacific Northwest area, despite being very expensive, is a lovely place to be. Like, I'm very happy living here. This is the part of the world I'd want to live in. Like, hands down. So we're almost there to 6,000. We're getting close. The weather here is pretty great. You get like a nice variety of seasons, but it is fairly temperate. It does not get absolute nonsense hot. Like, it is extremely rare that it gets like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Very uncommon. Usually the 90s is like the highest we'll see. And it's beautiful out in this area. Like Vancouver especially, like you got like the coast and mountains and forests and like so much just natural beauty immediately surrounding the city area. It just costs a bonkers amount to live here, which is annoying. But I still feel like I'd probably still... There are times definitely when I look at like housing prices in like Georgia and other areas I've lived before and sigh wistfully thinking it's like, man, we could afford so much more space for so much less money. But then we wouldn't be able to live here, which is kind of the big downer. It is a problem that no one has AC up here. That's a problem, although I think that's a problem that's slowly going to start sorting itself out. I think it's now legally required for new buildings to have central air included, just because it's getting hotter here more often now. People owning ACs is such a foreign concept to you, which I understand and I get. I'm on the opposite side of that as someone who grew up in the southeastern US in Georgia. AC not being absolutely standard everywhere was bonkers to me moving up here. Because, like, in Georgia, like, that's not an option. People will die. People do die. It's absolutely necessary in any part of the world that gets that hot. To be fair, it rarely gets that hot up here, but it has started getting more that hot more often. Like, was it last year? No, it was the year before where we had that, like, intense, like, bonkers heat. Like, I think it got up to, like, 112 up here Fahrenheit, which... That is, I've never seen that before. That sucked. Those were not good conditions to have to record one of the longest sessions of Nier Automata I've ever recorded for the channel with the AC turned off. Would not recommend. It's not a good game for preserving sanity in extreme temperatures. Wait, was it Nier Automata or Replicant? Maybe that one was Replicant. I can't remember. It was near something. I need to be paying more attention so I'm actually like participating more in the fates and getting more from them. I'm doing it most of the time, but every now and then I like slack. I'm glad it is becoming, apparently, it's more common and more required for buildings to just have central air. Like, anyway, in part just because, like, it's going to be more, I feel like, energy efficient than everybody independently eventually, like, giving in and buying portable AC units, which are probably way more energy wasteful. That's definitely the solution we've had to use for a while. Like, I'm turning it off now because I'm streaming, and so you guys aren't hearing just a constant in the background, but... and I turn it off when I'm recording Playframe for the same reason, but otherwise that stuff stays on, because otherwise, like, I can't work in here. I cannot afford to lose hours to not being able to think. I got YouTubes to make, man. And, like, day job and stuff. Also, I need to be able to sleep. I don't get enough sleep as it is. Sorry if I'm saying fewer words this far into the stream. I sort of started the stream at the end of what was already a quite full day. Day job work and whatnot. Let's see, we're close. Between like 1 and 3 more, and I think we got it. Then maybe we can celebrate by just burning through Cutter's Cry or some other sort of thing. This is quite a musical visual combination, huh? Because when I think the land of the sylphs, children of Ramu, I think Diddy Kong Racing EDM. We're close. Oh, we're there. We've gotten it. We've done it, team. We did the thing. I will now return and rank up. Someone was saying they've migrated to like tower fans as their solution, and for cooling that's a bit more quiet. I do have like a little tower fan that I run during recording things during hot months just to get a little light breeze. Running it on like a low setting, it doesn't get picked up by the mic, and that is a absolute godsend sometimes. I need to look up Dyson tower fan specifically though. I don't know what, I think mine's like a Honeywell. It's not a super nice fan or anything, but it's still done good work. I will look into the Dyson tower fans though. That's a Google search I will do in a second. First, I'm getting promoted though. For all the hard work that honestly my companions have been doing. There, expert delivery missions unlocked. That's what we're waiting for right there. Good job, understudy. I forget that's your voice sometimes. When our buddies are here and everything. So now, what this means, for those of you who don't know, is that I can go to this expert delivery tab and I can turn in just random gear I've been picking up, or just getting as drops in dungeons and stuff, for, depending on the level, a fair amount of seals. Like, even at low level, we'll be getting like 1 to 200 per thing, which is pretty close to what we were getting per Grand Company, per Fate there. So like, I can just, hey, if you want to hear the, oh, the music's turned off. You don't have to hear the cacophony of just nonstop, which is what you usually hear when you do this. They should find a different sound cue, I think, for turning in this stuff. In my opinion. But look at that. That's a lot of progress. All right. Well, I don't think 8 of us can run into Cutter's Cry. Who wants to blitz through a quick Cutter's Cry before we call it a night? Because I still got to go do some hunts and stuff and then turn in gear or whatever, but it's also getting later, so I should probably chill. Hang with Carrie for an hour before bed. Look at all of you with your good style. So many good characters. And cosplay. Again, just very good. And Macho. I love how many times Macho has shown up in our... Like, pretty much everyone here has been involved in some of our kind of like either raids or the dungeons we've had to run or whatever else. I love how many recognizable faces we got. Are we allowed to unsync Cutter's Cry with 8 people? Is that allowed? I wonder. I was about to say. Triple try till dawn. Hello, Will. Didn't know you were still here. Thank you for joining us, Pella. Have a good evening. You still having a good night there, Will? Too bloody warm, but doing excellent. Yeah, that's... that I can understand. It is too warm out these days. All right, we're getting our party sort of sorted out here. Thank you, everyone who was in the party here and everyone who's been part of this big run through the Fates. Thank you so much for joining and accelerating the process. It's been very fun, and it has saved me a lot of time. I'm very grateful. But all right, we got a squad now. We're going to run through an optional dungeon, which has not been seen in story mode and will only very briefly be seen here because we're going to blitz through it oh so fast. And don't, you haven't missed much. It's a cave with bugs in it. Well, not just bugs, but it's a cave with enemies in it and not much story, and that's it. But it has a few specific things I need to kill because my squad wills it. Bummed as I am that I have to re-record some chunks of Stormblood. One, I'm glad that I can. Two, I'm still very excited to show that stuff off. Because there's, boy, some just pretty areas. There's a lot of pretty stuff to look forward to. But here's Cutter's Cry, if you've never seen it before. Rather pretty in its own right. We're bringing a different musical vibe to it than usual, but what a good team. I really need to get that fixed and working on the alt here. It just keeps on not working correctly. Haven't figured out why. We're doing this unsynced, so we're all very high level and not stopping for nothing. Just gonna one-shot all these bugs and get out of here. Which, if you think about it, one-shotting bugs is not hard. That's something you can do in real life. There's a lot of things that you can do in this game that you can't do in real life. One-shotting bugs, that one's IRL applicable. Not saying that you should. Just saying we all have the capability. They are very fast. And some bugs, to be fair, do have just an incredible armor class. Either a very big number or a small number if you're in second edition, I guess. Or a negative number if you're in second edition. Man, Thaco's dumb. Sorry, I'm still on the Thaco thing. I know it's been 2 hours, but... We win. Stop running in a corner. Doppel Durmin. Thanks for grabbing the coffers, folks. That has the gear I'll be turning in. Appreciate it. Yay, the hunting log getting completed. Derpless, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a nickname. I hadn't thought about that one, but Derpless is pretty good. A very relevant pull, I like it. That's very clever. I guess it requires Thousand Year Door knowledge, but I like it. I wouldn't get that joke a year ago. Now I do. Bug's dead. In the home stretch of the Cutter's Cry. So for those of you who aren't Final Fantasy XIV players, and who aren't 14 players, but yet also care about this kind of trivia, which has got to be 2 or 3 of you, maybe at most. A Realm Reborn has a lot more dungeons than any of the other expansions. They're not... The thing is, like, they're not as good as the dungeons and the expansions that followed, generally. They seem to have gone a lot more for, like, kind of like lower quantity but higher quality with dungeons since A Realm Reborn, which I think is a good call. There is a lot more, like, kind of fun, just weirdness and, like, irregularity and, like... I've mentioned in the story mode playthrough how they standardize boss design and mechanics and stuff like that a lot more with dungeons and bosses the more expansions they go in, which is a good thing, I think. Like, I'm very much in favor of them doing that, but there is something kind of appealing to some of the kind of zaniness and weirdness of the dungeon and boss design in A Realm Reborn back when they were still kind of figuring out what does a Final Fantasy XIV dungeon and boss mean? And they hadn't really figured out all their conventions yet. So there's some kind of weird funness to that old stuff, to this old stuff. That is kind of cool, but, like, it's not better, but there's some novelty appeal to it. Thank you, 3, very much for the accelerated scoot through the Cutter's Cry. Helping me out with some of my little enemies on this hit list here. How's there a sandbat I still have left to kill? I'll get it later. But I am so much closer to pink chocobo life. And that's great. Because I just have to get like a few more little ranks. I'm going to just go turn this in right now, and that's probably going to get us a lot of seals. There's so many people around. We're confusing everyone else on the server. Which is a delight to do. Let's see. Turning in some stuff. Yep, this is a way faster way to get seals. So, for my own reference, what will I be saving up for as my next threshold? 7,000 will be the next threshold. And then probably 8,000 for the next. Yeah, 7,000 for this one, then probably 8,000 for the next. Plus, I need to finish that hunting log, which won't take very long. Then, by then, I think I should be covered. I can get an apartment. I can get the bird in a stable. I can get the bird some food. I can feed the bird food. I can wait 8 hours, and then the bird will be pink, and then we're ready. And then finally, we can record the episodes again. It's a multi-phase process, but it would have taken a lot longer without all these good folks, plus the 24 others who were joining us earlier and then had to crash. Thank you all so much for joining me. Whether you were helping or just chilling and hanging out in chat, I appreciate it a lot. This has been fun. Y'all are grand. Sorry, I've also not been as responsive to chat or to the folks who've been like subscribing and resubscribing and say, hey, I can just go back and do some of that now. Give some folks some thanks before heading out. Let's see. We'll zoom in on our fellow and have a sit. With our good group. So fashionable. Thank you very much, 7 Sunless Days, for 8 months. Not so much success, also for the 8 months, which is almost a year, you're right. And thanks for coming to help with the fates if you were able to join. I'm loving seeing all the fashion on all these characters out here. There's so many style options in this game now. It's great. Let's see. Smug Rainbow Pony, thank you for the 8 months for you as well. It was a beach party for a little while there, wasn't it? Thank you, Ginger Puff, for the 8 months. There's a play frame for every occasion, and I think that's neat. 3 months for Greybeard Davidson. Thank you very much. And now I'm caught up, I think. I think I got everybody else. Because everybody else was like upwards of an hour ago, and I think I caught everybody's. Now I'm looking back and seeing how many gifted subs Old Army did. Good gracious. That is so many rounds of 5 or 10 gifted subs. Too many. Thank you. I know they're not on anymore right now, but thank you again, Old Army, for all the gifted subs. Enjoy all of the emotes, everyone who has gifted subs now because of them. They were a true force for chaos today. Oh, and hey, thank you for the 6 months. That guy, 777. Here, I'll actually roll more formal credits now. Hold up, let me see. Hit the button and whatnot. We're gonna switch over to off screen, but you're all lovely. Do a little wave, and then credit screen, which should be working, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Y'all are champs. Oh, I don't know if Pella's still on. I think Pella went to bed. I will find somewhere to post the playlist, or at least the track list of names for all the music that's been I've been playing for this stream and for the other streams too. Just as like a Google sheet or something, track names and such. Oh, thank you, Ashton, for putting up the little end thing and for joining and hanging out. Y'all have been lovely. Who's on? Wow, all the people I follow are offline right now. Ridiculous. Well, not that ridiculous. It's late. I'd be amazed that Dan Jones isn't on as well, except he's been on a lot this week. He's been really going full tilt at that Tears of the Kingdom. Having himself a grand old time. And he did stream earlier today, I think. But, goodness, it's a lot of names going by today. They're all very good. I don't know when the next stream we do will be. This Sunday, I've got a patron Q&A, so that won't work out. Of course, doing just this regular stream. Could be that a week from today we do another one. I'm not sure. I do need to start finding some good days for doing Final Fantasy V again, though. It depends on how fast I can get this next New Frame Plus video wrapped. I'm determined. Needs to get done. Anyway, I'm going to go crash and hang with Carrie for a little bit before I go to bed. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, or evening, or start of your day, for those of you who are just waking up. Stay cool out there, or stay whatever temperature is comfortable where you live. And I'll see all of you next time. Goodbye. Thank you for the help.